out of the movies that I had lined up for this series of bad movie reviews, I honestly expected this to be the one that I ended up despising the most. Mainly because parodies have just been getting such a bad name lately, with like that Hunger Games parody I can't even remember the name of, nor do I care to look it up, or like Epic Movie, where they just rely on back to back pop culture references to get a laugh out of the audience. But to my surprise, I didn't despise this movie quite as much as I did Germ Z or Zombie Abomination. Um, they did at least try to write some jokes for this. And in case you didn't even read the title of the video, the movie I'm reviewing tonight is called Dork of the Rings, and I don't really need to explain what it's about. I mean, just take the plot to the Lord of the Rings trilogy and shorten it and make it more stupid, and you get this movie. So, for the most part, a lot of the jokes in this movie just fall flat, and they could have been a lot funnier. Like, in that scene where Gollum is arguing with himself, whereas in the Two Towers it was his good side versus his bad side, in this movie they give him five different personas to sort of argue with himself, and that type of scene could have been hilarious, but the way that it plays out is just really sluggish and a lot more boring than it should be. Like, he's got this gangster version of himself who just says something like, "Yeah, let's pop a cap in his ass," and I don't know, it's dumb. Like, the only one I found kind of amusing in that scene was the version of him that was acting like a dog. And, I mean, if a man acting like a dog is the best part of a scene, then your movie might very well be broken. But there were some aspects of it that I found pretty funny. Like, the parody of Gandalf in this movie is played off as this senile old pervert. The character who's spoofing Boromir is this really flamboyant, over the top homosexual. And the way that he plays it was just, again, so over the top and silly that I couldn't help laughing a few times. But yeah, there was also like some referential humor that I appreciated. Like when I was watching The Fellowship of the Ring for the first time years ago, in the scene where Frodo gets the mithril armor, I kind of thought that looked like something a woman would wear. And when they're spoofing that in this movie, um, it's literally something that a woman would wear. So I thought, I thought it was kind of funny, but still it didn't get much more out of me than a chuckle. Um, Overall, again, I didn't completely hate this movie. There were enough parts of it that I found amusing to keep it from being a complete waste of my time, but it's still not good. It's just meh. So, if you're interested in checking it out, I would suggest maybe watching it with a buddy and getting drunk or something, because really that's the only way you're going to have a great time watching it. So, in the end, that's all I've got to say about The Dork of the Rings. It's nothing special. The end.